So I finally went and looked up the video where the girl was criticizing the Beyonce Bowl, and I have thoughts. My first point is something I've said before, but y'all pick and choose when y'all want to consider Beyonce intelligent, a mastermind, that Virgo mindset, and when she's a pawn. Like, seemingly, she just loses all type of intellect when y'all want to make these points. Like, she has no type of intention. She has nothing. She has to be being used. Which brings me to my second point. Y'all get very comfortable assuming that black Southern people, people from the South, black people from the South are ignorant. I don't know if it's the way we talk. I don't know what it is. But people that are not from the South assume that they know more or better than black Southern people. Just like there is a distinct black culture in this country, there is a very distinct black Southern culture. And y'all dismiss it every time simply because you don't understand it. And I think it pisses me off more because this could have been like a conversation. But instead, she wanted to ignorantly spout out conclusions based off of misunderstandings when she could have simply asked, like, oh, I noticed this. Did anybody understand why she was doing X, Y, and Z? Because her whole video and the people that are agreeing with her, which I'll get to in a second, are dismissing staples in our culture, staples in Southern culture, which were readily, like, I could recognize them immediately, but because you're not from here, y'all don't participate in it, you dismiss it. Which brings me to my last point. You really have to look at who is agreeing with the takes that you make. That goes for women, queer folk, Beyonce haters, people that don't feel like they want to read anything. I find it very odd that there are so many non-black people agreeing with her and she doesn't understand that that's a problem. Just like if you are a woman and you make a point up here and then the only people agreeing with you in your comment section are men, you know you've made a grave mistake or you said something dumb. I need everybody black in America to understand if the only people agreeing with you are non-black people or people that have already just don't like Beyonce in general, you're not making a cogent point. They're using this opportunity to dogpile on her because they already don't like her. Because there's no way that you think white people criticizing black culture, even a black Southern culture, which you clearly don't understand, but you can understand that a black woman is doing something from her roots, which would make it black culture, just based on that premise alone, that white people should be able to critique that at all. And you going through the comments, liking these posts, liking these comments. I'm going to need you to log back on the app and make a good little apology because there's enough people that have stitched you, showed you the error of your ways, and you can make all the excuses you want. But you're not from here. You didn't understand. Now you have understanding, make the apology. I don't have time for it because I'm done with people thinking Beyonce's stupid or black Southern people are stupid and that we don't have a distinct culture that we can be proud of. That makes no sense. And that whole point of some people saying that they were proud to be American, nobody said that. Nobody said that. And if they did say it, they were being facetious. They were being funny. Make the apology video. Because, girl, no. See, I thought I was done, but I'm not because I have one more point to make. There's something that happens every 4 years. And I'm not talking about elections. I'm talking about the Olympics. The fact that y'all can understand that wearing red, white, and blue, waving a flag, during the Olympics, where we had billionaires at the Olympics, and there was no think pieces. No think pieces. LeBron James won a gold medal this year. Waved that red, white, and blue. wore it on every game, represented this country. No think pieces. So the dissonance currently is confusing to me. Because every 4 years, we be, ah! So y'all get it. Y'all just hate Beyonce. Keep it cute. I always find it weird that there are certain creators on this app that want to be seen as an authority and also speak a lot about community organizing and community work, but their first inclination is always to criticize. And that's unsettling. And I know why that is, because as a light skinned woman with light eyes, I know the privileges that we have and that people generally look to us as an authority, even when we don't know what we're talking about, because we are generally the palatable black. But I just seen her in the comment section of another video who was doing a great job calling her in, giving her examples of why she's incorrect, especially about the propagandist point and the American flag point. And she's talking about some agree to disagree. What community work are you doing when you can't acknowledge that you're not an authority on the critiques you're giving? That you can't take when you are wrong, when you are factually incorrect. It's actually kind of wild. Like, I'm really about to block her. Like, I was giving her grace because she's young and a little dumb, clearly. But yeah, no, I'm not about to deal with that behavior. And then you're going to have the hypocrisy of saying that you're organizing. No, because it's given very much power trip at this point. Because criticize Beyonce all you want, because Beyonce, on the power scale, you really can't do anything and she doesn't care. She'll probably not see it. But to criticize other black people that you would need to organize and build community with, and your first inclination is to criticize, and then to be wrong and not acknowledge it, yeah, I'm out. I'm out. How is it a call out to say that you have a white mother when you have a white mother? How is that a call out? How, like, what am I calling out? Facts? Reality? And then they are outside of black culture because her mother is white and she presents in the world as a biracial woman. Like, she's distinctly not black. Like, I looked at her and knew she was not black, but I took it for face value because she said she was black. And then her behavior made me say, it's weird that we all understood this whole sentiment during the whole Not Like Us Kendrick thing. And we were like, why is Drake acting like that? Oh, he got a white mama. She's literally acting like Drake. And far be it for me to give not biracials, but Blasians their tens, but at least they know that they're two things at once. They're two things at once. Where's the call out? Honestly, this is my point. But y'all mouth don't get dry talking about the same things. Like, let's get into it. Everybody is so educated, but somehow we forget what the tragic mulatto trope is. And you can talk about the trope being, whatever. But we can listen to actual biracial people and their experiences and their slam poetry to know that the tragic mulatto trope is very much still real. And for those of you who don't know what a tragic mulatto trope is, it's essentially them not feeling like they fit in either world. So how the conclusion has never been let them identify as what they are and stand in their distinct identity, and how that turned into an insult is out of my hands. I didn't do that. Because I can understand when black people are pointing and laughing at you, it hits a little different. But at the end of the day, nobody ever examines what they did to make us point and laugh. So in recording and re-recording this video, I've come to the conclusion that a lot of y'all black people think that if we don't claim biracials, that they won't stand with us when we have like social or political issues. But newsflash, there are black people that don't stand on the proverbial right side when we have social and political issues. So I need y'all to get out of needing to extend the olive branch and welcome everybody that wants to claim this identity into the fold, and actually get better at holding boundaries and saying, you know what you're doing is harmful, and calling out the behavior and asking for accountability. Because what do we gain from it? What do we gain from making biracials choose a side? When one, whenever they choose the side, they generally fall onto stereotypes to prove themselves, and the labor generally falls onto black women to help them understand their identities, to teach them how to do their hair, to fix all of the wreckage that they create, i.e., this conversation. Because who is now the only ones talking? Black women. Who is the only one trying to get an understanding? Black women. And who is the one that was harmed the most with all of the anti-blackness that Hannah ushered in? Black women. Because honestly, if hearing that you are biracial isn't affirming to you, and it's not a weight off of your shoulders that you don't have to like ignore, that you have something distinct and unique about yourself, that's not on me. And I'm not about to take on the labor of making you understand that what you are should be enough. Okay, so the weekend is almost over, so let's wrap this up. These are my final thoughts. I need for all the people that have said, oh, we can't critique Beyonce, to brace yourself, because in this instant, y'all are actually wrong. Because y'all think by virtue of it being a critique of Beyonce that it is valid, and we are saying every critique of Beyonce is not valid. That's with anything. Just because you think she should be critiqued does not mean every critique that is made makes sense or is correct or came from a loving place or whatever. Yes, you can critique Beyonce. You have critiqued Beyonce. There are multiple videos on this app currently that make great judgments about the contradictions and hypocrisies of her politic versus her art. Hannah's was incorrect. Hannah's was not a good critique. Multiple creators have shown exactly why. They have broken down how she approached her speech. They have broken down the examples she used, and they are just incorrect. Take a breath and realize that y'all aren't right on this one. Nobody is above critique, and nobody is saying that. But us pointing out inconsistencies and inaccuracies is not stand culture. Like, y'all hear things that you don't want to hear and then dismiss it by saying that because it's Beyonce and it's the Beehive. But this time, honey, we were right. We made great points. And instead of taking this and saying, you know what, I didn't think about that, Mama talking about some agree to disagree about factual information. She's trying to divorce things from the actual context in which it was birthed. And she's approaching this context as a black woman when she's a white passing biracial. Like, let's be so serious. Beyonce's not above critique, but the critique needs to make sense for it to be valid and for it to be taken in. I have taken in a lot of critique by Beyonce, and a lot of people that are critiquing Beyonce are still fans of hers. But this critique won't the one to hang y'all hat on. That's not the one to make this argument with. Like, y'all get so used to saying, oh, it's Beyonce. Like, no. Yes, it is Beyonce. But what you need to say about her and her contradictions, her hypocrisy, her politic, whatever you want to say, needs to make sense, needs to have the appropriate context, and needs to be accurate. How do you want us to internalize these things when it's incorrect information? So yeah, keep dismissing us, but this is not the one to hang your hat on. This is not the one to hang your hat on. Saw great critiques. Saw great critiques. Have taken them all in. Liked them, repost them. Hannah's, not it.